Hi folks, and welcome back to Old School Studios. We got a couple projects for this weekend. The first project being my son's little beater quad. He broke the chain, so I went up and I found him a racing chain today. It's a 428 HD, and we're going to try to fit that on there. Yesterday he broke his battery case off of the quad, and he, with his certified welding skills, welded this back on there. Very proud of the young man. The other thing we're going to do is we picked up this battery, and we are going to try and get this thing out of here. Pump up that back tire that's completely flat. Put a battery in it, some fresh gas, and try to get this baby ripping. So without further ado, I'm going to start digging this out. It has all the camping stuff packed around it. Try to get this thing out of here, and I'm going to get started with that now. Alright, she's out of the trailer. We got the tires filled with air, and there's my old baby. I bought that brand new in 1994, and any and all damage done to it was from my father borrowing it and letting people ride it. So let's get this thing out of this little hole that she's in. Another problem I'm seeing here is there's no key. I think I know where I hung it in my other barn. I'm gonna go try to find that. And we get the battery and get that installed and see if we can get this baby to start. So let's get started with that now. Alright, I got the thing back over to my house. It was next door in my trailer at my sister's house. So the battery I had in there, when I bought this, did not have a battery, so I took measurements from this case. I don't know why I didn't think to look online for the right battery, but the battery I had in there was too tall, but it worked because there's nothing above it. This is actually the right battery for this four-wheeler. I got it at O'Reilly's. Probably paid too much, but let's get this battery in there. Maybe grease up that chain. It looks like an O-ring chain too. It's a good chain. Put some fuel. I remember sucking the fuel out of this with the John Holmes suction pump. Alright, this was kind of cool. See how these have this little tip on there, and it wouldn't fit correctly? It came with these little brass bushings. They gave it the right height. See that? That's pretty cool. Came with that. Alright, let's make sure my battery's tight. I had this copper wire wrapping around it. I'll probably put that back on just to man, this thing just doesn't, I must have bent it up when I put that on. So let me get this strap down, and we're going to check some fluid, some oil, this and that, and try to get this baby started. She's purring like a kitten. Alright, so I'm going to put my air filter back together. I'm going to put my seat fender back on, and I got to clean my seat. It looks like it has some mildew. And we're going to give this a trial run. You ready for this? Sweet! Uh-oh, I stalled, and there's the farmer in his truck. Alright, so on the Honda, I have bogging going on high end, and I think maybe I have some kind of clogged carburetor issues. I do have a rebuild kit for this carburetor when I first bought it, and then it cleared itself up. So I'm going to put some Lucas in the gas and clean out the fuel system, and maybe I'll run it with a little Lucas first before I go tearing into the carburetor. I have some of this injector cleaner, fuel conditioner, neutralizes poor quality fuel, treats 100 gallons, complete fuel treatment. So I run this in my Jeep every now and then. Everything should have a little bit of toot in it. Let that permeate the fuel system. Alright, so right now I am going to put the chain on my son's four-wheeler. I'm going to lay it out. I got a marker so I can mark the length of it in my grinder to grind off the master or to grind off the pin. What else do I got here? I got a punch to pop out the pin, needle nose pliers. Here's the master link. So I grab a hammer, a scrap piece of wood, and I'll be back at you in a flash here. Alright, so I gotta take off this front chain guard to get the chain around this front sprocket, and they did not make this easy. I'll tell you, it's buried in there. There we go. There we go. So now alright, let's get the chain and wrap it around there and see if we could get this baby on. Alright, so you have to loosen these two bolts here, take these all the way out, your chain tensioners, get the chain on, tension your chain. It's kind of tight right now, but it's going to loosen up with, it's going to stretch, and then you go ahead and retighten these up. Alright, so let's put the chain guard back on the side over here. Front sprocket guard, and let's test it. Not too tight, it's aluminum. Okay. Alright folks, I think we got her now. That chain, we're going to keep an eye on it, make sure it's, we want it to loosen up a tick. That's what we want. And they always do. So, let's have him start this up and take it for a test run and make sure everything's hunky-dory. Oh, stallage. Alright folks, it's raining. Thank you for watching Old School Studios. Both the quads are ripping right now. We just started raining. We came back home. Have a good day.